Alrighty, well, let's get started.
Yay.
Thank you so much, everybody, for coming. We are going to start our bridal styling party right now with Kelly Faetanini. Joining us is Marcel from the team.
Hi.
And before we get started, I want to get some stuff out of the way. So you guys have the Q&A section where you can post any questions you have, and we're going to go through them at the end of the presentation. And then if you guys see any dresses that you like, I highly recommend you to take screenshots or write down the names of the styles so you can go back to your bridal salon or ask questions about them at the end of this, or go to the bridal salon again and just ask for pricing, sizing, try the dress on, or anything you need.
Absolutely. And I'm here to help too. So if you have questions as we go, I can answer any specifics about the gowns. I can tell you a little bit more about the details. So ask away.
And this dress that we have right here is Olivia. And it's a beautiful gown. And we're going to talk all about this gown in just a bit. So don't worry, you guys. Just stick with us and we will hook you up with some good information. All right, well, let's start getting introductions. So let's start with you, Marcel. Tell us more about you.
Hi, I'm Marcel Turner. I'm Kelly's Chief Sales and Marketing Officer. So I've been with the company for about a year and a half, and it's been the most amazing experience for me. And my favorite part about my job is that I get to interact with both the salons and the brides almost on a daily basis. So this is a huge treat for me to be able to speak to all of you and just answer your questions and actually kind of roll my sleeves up a little bit when it comes to the gown. So please, please, please ask questions as you go. Kelly also designs for the voice of our bride. So what you tell me you want, we'll go back directly to Kelly for next season. So please be vocal, ask questions, and I'm here to answer anything I can for you.
Perfect. Thank you. And Christina, if you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Sure. Hi, guys. I'm Christina Castonguay. I am the founder of LuxeBrideGuide, which is a bridal Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, and blog for the fashion-forward bride-to-be, or really anyone who loves weddings. I've been in bridal for 7 years, I think. It'll be 8 years in January. And I used to be in sales and then transitioned into social media. And now I take clients in social media management as well.
Perfect. And I am your host, Alejandra Baca. I am the editor of Bella Magazine. And by the way, you guys can call me Alex. So if you have any questions, don't worry about typing Alejandra, because I know that's hard. So just call me Alex. I have been in the bridal wedding social media space for about 15 years. And I have been working with Kelly for a number of years already. So I am very familiar with her beautiful collections. She always has beautiful gowns, but also something really different of what other designers offer. So I am really excited about that. We have right here Kelly's handle, Kelly Faetanini on Instagram. So if you guys want to follow, if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and DM them, but also you can go to their website and they have contact information right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And Marcel will answer any questions you have, but if at the end of these, or if you're watching the replay, make sure you visit kellyfaetanini.com for any questions or DM them on Instagram.
Especially on Instagram, because we're teasing a lot of the new photos of the gowns that aren't even in salons yet that you're going to see here today. So if you want more photos of the gowns that you're falling in love with, they're going to be on our Instagram channel and nowhere else.
Yes, so make sure you follow for sure. Perfect. So if you, Marcel, can tell us more about the new collection. I am so excited about it.
Me too. I'm super excited about Willow. Willow was such a labor of love for Kelly this season, and in the best way. You know, every season she's looking for an inspiration, and the season, last season was inspired by her trip to the Amalfi Coast in Italy. So you saw a lot of those kind of clean romantic lines, and you could see the architecture even in those gowns. The collection before was called Marilyn, and it was inspired by old Hollywood. So you see a lot of those striking silhouettes and a lot of, you know, use of just really beautiful lines that you would see in vintage fashion. And this season, Willow is inspired by kind of the outdoors. And, you know, Kelly's vision was sitting in a really romantic French manicured garden, where there's this really striking difference between this gorgeous architecture and history behind you and these florals and textures and light that just kind of peep around every corner. And what I think is my favorite part of this whole collection is that every element in this collection has something that's unexpected. So as you're going through the gowns, you know, it might look like a silhouette you've seen before, a style you've seen before, and then she's going to throw something in there that you're like, wow, I've never seen that before. What an interesting combination. So that's the best part about Willow. I think it's one of our strongest collections ever. The fit is fantastic on these gowns. It's constantly something she's working on. So I'm just incredibly excited to share them with you today.
Oh, we're so excited about it.
I am. I love them.
Yes.
I got them all here because I'm not in New York. Kelly sent them all to my house so I could actually see them in person, which was so fantastic. And I just like wanted to hug them all and have fun with them.
It's like the best mail ever.
It is. It was when the FedEx guy came, I couldn't have been more excited because I knew exactly what it was.
I love that. All right, so we're gonna get started first with some fashion statements. A lot of trends that Kelly is incorporating this season into her gowns. And like Marcel said, a lot of unexpected details. And yeah, so let's get started. And the first gown is probably my favorite, or everybody's favorite.
Everybody's favorite.
Yeah, so this is Peony, and she is beautiful. The trend that we're seeing right here is the florals, but also the classic and very signature style of ombre that Kelly always has when dressed with an ombre effect on every single one of her collections.
Absolutely. So yeah, Peony is this beautiful A-line in tulle and an all over beaded lace applique with these little 3D petals that are handmade, and they kind of get smaller as you go through the gown. She's just got this gorgeous square neckline, which is super modern, striking against this kind of more traditional floral. And then these little side cutouts that are really slimming. What's neat about her is she is done in our signature ombre, but we can also do her in an ombre blue, and we can also do her in all ivory. So Kelly's like true use of like super color. And then what's also nice is she has this really, really pretty scallop at the hemline. So it's just a very, very finished gown.
I love this one. I feel like it gives such a big impact. And I think this is perfect for the bride who wants a lot of detail, but doesn't necessarily want like big crystals or like a very heavy beading. You still get that like gorgeous texture and detail.
Yeah.
And then we are moving on to Talia. That's how you say it?
Talia.
Talia, okay. Yeah. And Talia also has the florals, but it's a little bit less 3D. And am I right when saying that it's a metallic applique? Or
actually, it's a really interesting illusion. So she does have beading and 3D like embroiders as well, but her 3D petals are not quite as pronounced. What's neat about her is that it is an ivory embroidery, but it has a slight pearlescent effect, which is where you're getting that silvery tone. So when you look at it up close, it's truly ivory on ivory, but it does have this little bit of sheen, which is just really rich and expensive feeling. And it just gives the gown a ton of like depth and texture, which is just like, feels so fantastic when you see it.
Yeah, I love the neckline. The scoop is so flattering. I think this dress really speaks for itself. Like, I feel like accessory wise, you would probably want to keep it pretty simple, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think that this is really a nice fashion forward piece. If you want your gown to be your statement, you want to keep everything else pretty simple. This is another gown where you can wear a killer big earring and have it really show off really well. So we have a lot of brides that like love their earrings.
Yes.
So there's a lot, you could have a lot of fun with styling this gown.
Yes, for sure. And you can have a veil or no veil.
Absolutely.
And you will still look amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, I can absolutely make her a more contemporary without a veil, and then you can make her way more traditional with like a beautiful cathedral veil.
Yes, yes, for sure. And then another trend that we're seeing, and we have seen for a while, is the sleeves. But I just love how Kelly is incorporating the sleeves. They are not your traditional just regular scoop sleeve or three-quarter sleeve. They all have something different, like you said. And we are starting with Jasmine, which is really different. The body is really, I haven't seen anything like that before.
Yeah, so Jasmine is a modified A-line in a georgette fabric with little lace appliques, and that's like those little funky flutter sleeves, which are just so different. So they're well positioned and they stay in place, but they do have a little bit of movement, which is really nice. She has this really pretty deep V neckline and a really nice deep V back. And what's cool about this georgette fabric is that it's just so breathable and it feels lightweight and airy, like you're just wearing nothing. There's no petticoat underneath this gown either. So it's all that volume you're seeing is coming from air. So when you talk about comfort, this gown is like comfort all day long, but you could also add a petticoat underneath if you wanted it to feel more like a ball gown for their ceremony, and then take it off so you can party and dance the night away.
I love that. And I love the flutter sleeve because I feel like a lot of brides think, oh, I can't wear sleeves. They're too heavy. I'm going to get hot. But this is like the perfect compromise, and it looks so pretty.
Thank you. Yeah, it's super easy breezy to wear.
Yes. And it also feels like it's a great option for that bride that is going to have like a church ceremony and needs cover, but it's not modest. Like it still feels very modern, and with the cutouts and the illusions, it gives you the illusion that you are actually revealing something, but you're really not.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's perfect for any type of ceremony. So I love that.
Thank you.
And then we're going with Angelica. I love the pattern on this one. It's so unique. Like I just love how the sleeves look like.
Thank you. We've had so many requests for long sleeve that we wanted to do something a little bit different, because we do have some other long sleeve gowns in our catalog. What she is a beaded embroidery lace on the entire bodice with a neoprene lining that's a fashion grade neoprene. So it feels like you're wearing Spanx, but the softest version that's not quite as tight. So it's just completely slimming. What's neat about her is that this is shown here in our nude colorway. So we can do her in all ivory like most of our traditional gowns, but you can also add a pop of color. So you could make this blush, or shown here in nude, which is a little lining of color underneath the gown just to change the silhouette, the color a little bit. And then she has this amazing keyhole back that buttons at the top, and there are little buttons at the sleeve. So super polished and really finished.
Yes, it's beautiful. I love the back as well. And then we have Primrose. Primrose also has the little scoop sleeve, but I love the beading on it. And I love the flowy skirt. That feels so pretty, because you get the ballroom, ball gown A-line effect, but it feels really fresh. It doesn't feel like stuffy, or it feels very comfortable.
That's good. That's exactly what she was going for, really. There's no lining underneath this gown. So it is a slim ball gown. So it, again, has the effect of a ball gown, a full ball gown, but it's just slimmer and easier to wear. And then it does have that little light sequin spray on these super duper soft petals. It's almost like a vintage bedspread feeling on the petals. So they're just so soft. And this gown is just meant to be, again, like easy breezy, like Jasmine.
Yeah, I feel like this is great for a lot of brides who are concerned about wanting something with more volume, but they're getting married outside and they don't want to be like super hot or feel like they're lugging around this like crazy like satin dress. So you can get, you know, both looks.
Yeah, this is a really lightweight organza. So she's just has a little bit of sheen to her, a really lightweight, very, very rich and expensive feeling, but just so easy to wear. This is for your girl looking for comfort.
Yeah, for sure. We get a lot of brides that ask if they can wear a ball gown for their elopement or like a beach wedding.
For sure you can.
And this one, yes, this one feels like the perfect choice for them.
Yes.
Because they can totally wear that. And we are moving on to, oh my God, I love the illusion bodies. They're so beautiful, but also the necklines. Oh my God. They are gorgeous.
That was one of the things that, as we can continue on, I'll just talk over it. One of the things that we really wanted to focus on this season is adding some new necklines to our collection, because a lot of our gowns are customizable. And the fact that if you love a bodice on one and the skirt on another, we can kind of sometimes combine the two. So we wanted to increase the kind of necklines, and this lily neckline is just so fantastic.
Yes, it's gorgeous.
Love it.
So we're calling her a strapless scoop. And then Olivia is kind of her a sister to one of our best-selling gowns you might have seen on our Instagram page called Adair. And Adair has this really beautiful lace. What's neat about her is that it vines over the top of this illusion and has this fantastic keyhole back in the back. So very, very slim. She's also finished on the edge with lace and beading on the hemline. So very, very sophisticated. She could also be done long sleeve, which would be just absolutely killer, either as a detachable sleeve or a permanent sleeve. So just a very, very striking silhouette. And we can also line the silhouette of that sweetheart if you wanted something a little bit more modest.
Yeah.
So lots of versatility.
Oh my gosh, the high neck. I'm a high neck girl.
Yes,
I love it.
The high neck
a little bit higher, so.
It's gorgeous. And the back is gorgeous as well. And I love the buttons in the back that Kelly does for every single one of the dresses. And how it matches the neckline to the high neck on the top. It looks gorgeous.
Yeah. So yes, Kelly has her signature buttons on almost all the gowns, which is just kind of our statement piece. And it just adds a little bit of polish and makes it feel very, very finished versus just going kind of a couple pieces down. It just feels like a very intentional design element.
Yes, for sure.
So
and
classic.
We're going to see Lily.
Oh, cool.
Which we were talking about.
Yeah, we were starting to talk about Lily. So what's great about her is that she has this, again, modified A-line silhouette again. So if you wanted something that kind of feels like a ball gown, but it's not quite a ball gown, this modified A-line is a fantastic solution for that. And she's tulle with an Oliver lace applique and this fantastic strapless scoop. We can always do her lined if you wanted her all ivory like the skirt. But I actually personally love the nude with the scoop just the way she is. I love this kind of little batwing effect on the side. It kind of hides the side boob a little bit. So you can actually have a fuller bust and still feel really, really comfortable wearing a strapless gown, which is a lot of concern and feedback that we hear from brides.
Yes, I love that. I feel like it matches every body type, but just the neckline, I've never seen anything like that, honestly.
Yeah. And her lace is gorgeous too. It's this really, really beautiful, like floral lace that just adds so much romance and texture and depth to the gown that she just feels, you know, just like a little piece of heaven.
Yeah. No, I love the bold lace, and I love too the contrast on the top where you can really see the pattern. And I think it even draws more attention to the scoop, which is just like, I love it. It's nice, a nice departure from like your standard sweetheart neckline.
That's such a good point, Christina, too. I mean, with the illusions, you can always make it not illusion on any of our gowns, right? But to your point, it does highlight the lace, right? So you're getting all this beautiful, really rich, expensive lace, like show it off with the illusion if you feel comfortable doing that.
Yeah.
Yes, for sure. And then we're going to talk about all the accessories.
Oh my goodness.
that Kelly designed this season for her dresses. I am super excited about them. They are gorgeous, and they all have a sister dress. So every accessory has a sister dress, but you can also mix and match, which I am obsessed with. And we're going to talk a lot about that. So let's get started on that.
These are my favorites. I mean, it's so hard because I love them all.
Yes.
But yeah, as we kind of get into these two pieces, a lot of them are designed specifically, you know, they all do pair with one specific gown in the collection, but they all can be kind of mixed and matched with other gowns in our collection or even other designers. So which is a cool piece. You know, we know that, you know, we'd love to have you be a full Kelly bride, but if not, you just love one piece, then you know what, let's make it work. Like, we want you to feel ridiculously gorgeous on your wedding day, no matter what, like, your decisions are. So we can totally start getting into the capes if you want. We have capes, we have boleros, we have shawls, we have trains.
So this one is Sylvie.
Yeah.
Am I right? Sylvie.
This is Sylvie. Yeah, you can go ahead, Alex.
No, this is the Sylvie dress and the Sylvie cape, and they do match perfectly. The dress looks amazing without the cape, but of course the cape takes it to a whole new level. And I am loving these options just because brides right now sometimes are getting married right now, and then in a year they're doing their other wedding, hopefully when COVID permits, to have the big affair, right? So these accessories gives you that opportunity to have the second look, either for a reschedule, either for a second wedding, or
an anniversary party.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or just if you're going to have a regular wedding in 2021 and you want to have two looks, one for your ceremony, one for your reception, all these offer that opportunity. And this cape, I just can imagine you walking down the aisle with this.
Yes, this cape is for a bride who wants to really stand out and be super fashion forward and wear something unique and different, you know. It would be amazing also for a winter wedding, just because that feels like this little bit of, you know, warmth on you, even though it is actually pretty light. It would be fantastic for the summer. So it's just super duper versatile. And has the full cathedral train behind it, which is just really, really striking when you can think about it from the back.
Yes.
Yeah, I love how versatile capes can be. I feel like they're great for either like adding an additional element, like if your dress doesn't have lace, like these two styles, you can add a touch of lace if you don't want an all lace look. Yeah. You can take it off. You can wear it instead of a veil. If you're not like a huge fan of a veil, it's a great alternative. Love them. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, even though it's designed to match the Sylvie gown, this cape will look great with these two styles from Kelly, which are really simple as well. And
Sylvie would look great really with any kind of sweetheart neckline. Really, that's what it's designed for, because it specifically draws attention to that, you know, sweetheart point in most gowns. So we have so many beautiful gowns in our collection that are sweethearts. So it would be really, I love that it's such a versatile piece for us.
Yes. And then there is another gorgeous, gorgeous cape, the Hydra. Yes. Yep. The Hydra dress with the Hydra cape. Just beautiful, beautiful design. It has less coverage than the Sylvie cape.
Correct.
But it brings like a regal feel to the dress, right?
Yeah, so she's a fit to flare, and she can be either done in crepe or matte macado, which is nice because then the cape can be either done in crepe or matte macado too. So it's really nice that this cape actually snaps into the back of the gown with little really super strong fashion snaps that you can't even see. And it just gives this lovely flowing effect for, again, a bride who might not want to wear a veil, but wants to have something that's a little bit different for the ceremony part, or really even just striking for the for photographs, because it is priced so well that it's one of these things where, like, okay, if you're gonna do it, this is the piece to certainly add to the collection. What's also cool is this cape can also be worn with a lot of our other styles. So if you fall in love with another Kelly neckline or backline, you can mix this cape with a lot of our other gowns too.
Yes.
And Hydra by herself is just a fantastic gown. She is one of our kind of best-selling silhouettes. from one of our jade gowns in Simone that kind of have these beautiful princess seams that go off to the side, and this really fashion forward scoop neck and nice deep low back, but not too low. So it's still kind of, you know, what we would say grandmother approved, but you can still feel sexy and still feel, you know, very, very polished and put together with that beautiful lace detail.
Yeah, I'm loving the clean lines on this. And just with the cape, I'm getting like Greek goddess vibes.
Yeah, exactly. But without feeling like you're wearing a costume, right?
Exactly. It's very, it's like low key. Yeah.
Yeah. She's very stately and very regal, but in a very simple kind of polished way. You know, that's kind of that classic with a twist kind of part of our motto, which is, you know, absolutely Hydra kind of embodies that.
Yes. And you can wear it. I mean, I love the fact that it lets you see the detail of the Hydra dress, the lace, but you can also wear it with any of these designs.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many on Kelly's collection that you can wear it with, but these two, they will still look amazing with the Hydra cape for sure. Yeah. The open bags, just bringing that open bag to a whole new level of glamour. And again, these would be great for that destination or mini wedding or mini money or micro wedding or whatever you wanted to do, or you want to call your small intimate wedding, but still with the Hydra cape, you can bring that romance and that wow factor to it.
And what's nice too is that, you know, our crepes are fit so well and they feel so good that, you know, you really can't go wrong with you know, any of those styles that you just showed.
Yes, and the fitting is amazing, by the way. Yes. Yeah. And then this is probably, oh my God.
I know you mentioned when we first looked at the collection that this was actually your first favorite.
Yes, the shawl is my favorite, just because I have seen capes, not the capes that Kelly designed, but I had honestly never seen a shawl before.
Me neither.
And
especially a one shoulder shawl, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's designed for the Magnolia dress.
Correct.
But
I think it would actually work really well with if you did the Cypress gown that we showed before. I think, or I'm not sure if we did Cypress yet. Oh no, we haven't actually. We'll talk about Cypress in a second. But keep Magnolia shawl in mind because it could actually work with Cypress too.
Yes, they have the same back.
Yeah, so Magnolia is actually, and Alex, if you want to go to the video, I can kind of maybe talk over her a little bit.
Yeah.
Magnolia is actually in our new matte Mikado. So if you are familiar with Mikado fabrics, they kind of have they're very regal fabric. The matte Mikado is a little bit softer and a little bit more stretchy. So it has kind of all the best pieces of a Mikado, but with a little bit more stretch. With Magnolia, what's cool about her is she is a full ball gown cut, but nothing underneath. So again, all that volume you're seeing is just air. She has pockets. She has this gorgeous pleated sweetheart neckline and this little surprise in the back, which is this little peekaboo pleat with buttons down the back and then buttons continuing. Of course, you could always close the back if you wanted to in reorders when if you decided on this gown, but she just wears so beautifully. She's stately, she's regal, and just so comfortable to wear. So when you're going to see her shawl is a asymmetrical shawl. It attaches in the front to the inside of the gown and attaches to the back of the gown. And then it has pleats in the shawl. So you can actually make that wider or shorter or play with the placement in alterations with your stylist to cut that perfect exactly where you want it to fit on your body. And it's meant to drape over the side there to the left like it does. So talk about like statement in your photographs. Like this is the gown that will be like, holy cow, where did that come from?
Yeah, I love how you get really like two completely different looks.
Totally
but
different looks.
You have to buy a completely different dress. It's like, it's amazing. I love it. So regal too.
Thank you. Yeah. When the cool thing is too, I mean, this is done specifically just unfinished and beautiful, this gorgeous quality Mikado, but you could always dress up the shawl too. So if you wanted to put some lace appliques or beading on the shawl, just the shawl, so you could have kind of two different looks that way, you could also play with it with, really making the gown your own.
I love that. I feel like it's all about that today too. Brides want to mix and match and have fun with their look.
And of course, like we love, and we're so proud of the gowns the way they are, but we want them to make it your gown. You know, that's the goal.
Yes. And then we were talking about Cypress and how it would perfectly match as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
It's a slightly different pleating on the front, but again, because you can play with the shawl, you can play with the placement on how you want that to be done. But she has a similar back. What's cool about Cypress is if you love the look of Magnolia, but you don't want a ball gown, Cypress is a nice clean option in crepe. So just a really nice fitted line on her as a fit to flare. Again, in the cutout back. And then what's cool about Cypress are her boleros that we're going to show you.
Yes.
I love those ones.
These boleros can also work with Magnolia, which is fantastic because it's, again, or any other sweetheart that we have in our collection, especially if you're doing a plain crepe sweetheart. So this is one of our 2 boleros. This is shown the Floral Bolero. And this is lace appliques with a little bit of beading on a beautiful illusion. It snaps into the front and the back of the gown so that it doesn't shift or move around, and you can still move your arms and feel really, really comfortable. You'll see it has buttons up the back for a really clean finish, and just the Cypress gown by herself is just an absolute knockout from a fit perspective. She's so accommodating for every single body style and every shape. I think that she's going to be one of our more versatile gowns in the whole collection.
Yeah, I'm loving these boleros, especially too because I feel like back like a couple years ago when you would hear like bolero, you thought of like those little like short jackets.
The 90s jackets.
Yeah. So even when I worked in sales, like if someone requested bolero, that's what they would get. And I feel like this is such a modern take. I love that it goes under the dress instead of over it. And I think this is a great option too, with any style dress. If you are more conservative or more modest, or you're getting married in a religious setting and you need that additional coverage with like a strapless dress, I think this is a beautiful and stylish way to do it.
Thank you. I think the boleros are also going to be great. You know, some of us are self-conscious about, you know, our bust or our arm area. It's a still way to still feel very clean and fitted, but with a little bit more coverage if you just want to feel a little bit more, you know, less exposed as far as skin goes. So you still get the effect, but without the actual skin.
Yes, I love that. And I love the matching buttons too.
Oh, yes, thank you. Yeah, always the buttons that have to match. Kelly's so amazing with attention to detail on those things.
Absolutely.
And then this is our Scallop Bolero. So we have a beautiful scallop, again, a little bit more coverage, and that's just by design, so that you've got one that's kind of a little bit more skin and one that's a little bit less. Again, this can be done in this pattern too. We can do this in a lot of our other laces. So kind of when you're starting to get creative and think about how to make your Kelly gown your own, if you fall in love with one of our other laces, we can potentially customize a bolero with that lace as well.
Yes. And then we were talking about Magnolia, how it would look absolutely amazing as well with any of the boleros.
I would love the Magnolia gown with the Floral Bolero. I think that those two would be just a knockout together.
Yeah, it'd be gorgeous.
And of course, the train. I mean, I am obsessed with both. So I am loving this for sure.
You know, and it's funny, we didn't have a bow from last season, and we did in our Maryland collection. We didn't have a bow from last season. Everybody's like, where's the bow? So we had to make sure to bring a bow back for this season. And I think Kelly slayed it with this Oakley two-piece option. So Oakley by herself is just probably one of the most requested gowns that our collection has been on trunk show. This is so far the best-selling gown from the trunk shows, Oakley. Lovely, lovely fit to flare silhouette with a diagonal pleating, not pleating, but diagonal seaming on the body. So it just looks gorgeous. Really nice tapered neckline. Just very, very easy to wear, super classic if you just want a nice clean crepe, but we can also do her in our new matte Mikado, which would also be extraordinary if you wanted a little bit kind of more of a polished finish, and then a nice clean deep V back with the buttons all the way down the back, of course, and not quite as much of a train on her. So she still feels really elegant, but she doesn't have the big long train. Where we bring the train in is the detachable train. And she has this gorgeous cathedral style, big, full statement train with the bow that attaches with little tiny, again, fashion snaps in the back, so you really can't even see it when they're removed. And she is just, again, a picture photograph ready gown, with or without.
And it basically makes the dress into a
totally different dress,
A-line, completely different style, with a long regal train, right? And then when you take it off, it completely transforms into just a very fitted, chic wedding dress. That it also looks amazing, but comfortable. So elegant, but comfortable for sure.
And it does truly transform the entire look of the dress from the front and the back with the train. So, you know, really are getting versatility with the combo. And that, again, the train can be paired with other slim silhouettes of ours. So you can play with, you know, what style and what neckline is best for you. But I love her with Oakley because I love the contrast between the really modern cut of Oakley and the kind of more traditional piece of the train and the bow.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things too, where a lot of brides feel like, you know, more is more, and they need to like have all of these crazy details and embellishments, but you can look so regal and it can be a wow statement, and it's all in those little things like the bow and the buttons and how the seams are cut. So it's really all about like sometimes the smaller details and not so much the big things.
That's such a good point too, because it is about the small details in Oakley, right? That those diagonal seamings, or, you know, the seam, you might look at the silhouette at first and be like, oh, that, you know, that looks really simple. Then you look at it, you're like, wait, that's really different.
Yes, for sure. And we thought it will look also amazing with Aya. Yes, Aya, very clean look as well. That will be very elevated with the train for sure. Oh, and this one is so romantic. I love it. The tulle, the lace.
We had to do some tulle, you know. We don't have a ton of tulle in this collection, except for, you know, the pieces that are very intentional. But we did want to make sure that there was something, you know, Kelly's known for romance, you know. We would be out of character if she didn't give us an amazing train with that super, you know, romantic. And I think Linden hits the mark on this. What's great about Linden is, again, she's a slim A-line, so a little bit kind of more forgiving fit than maybe a fit to flare if you're not comfortable with that, even though a fit to flare is amazing. Crepe or Mikado with lace appliques, this beautiful deep V neckline, deep V back, and she can be done with or without hemline lace, so the lace on the hem of the gown. What's cool about her is, again, the gown stands by herself. So she's ivory tulle on the outside, no beading on her, and just lined with this beautiful soft jersey instead of tulle. So she even has a little bit more coverage. And then you get to the train and you're like, wait a second, you changed up again. So her train is a really beautiful tulle, and then full lace detail along the entire hemline for a huge statement piece. And because she's a little see-through, you can see the gown underneath. So it really does make for some amazing, you know, silhouettes.
Yeah, I love how you could put this skirt, I feel like, on the most structured, like red carpet kind of dress, and it instantly just makes it super romantic.
Yep.
Yes. So we thought it would look great with also Aveline. Am I saying it right?
Oh, Aveline, yeah.
Aveline, there you go. Yeah. So Aveline also has a little bit of lace detail, but it's still a very simple dress. And like Christina was saying, it will just bring her to a whole new level of romance and will transform the dress into, again, two completely different looks, right? From a very chic and simple mermaid fit and flare type of style to basically an A-line ball gown type of dress for your ceremony. And then the overskirt. This is such a good idea. I love the fact that the overskirt is complete. I had never seen that. I usually see the overskirts kind of like semi overskirt, but not a complete overskirt.
So this is a new overskirt for our collection. So we have a couple overskirts actually. We have a full tulle ball gown. We have a matte Mikado overskirt. We have an organza overskirt, but what we didn't have was an A-line overskirt. And that's what Amber is, which is fantastic. So Amber is this gorgeous, for this season, a new neckline for us, which is just so striking. This gorgeous square neckline, super modern, with a really deep scoop back. So the FF here stands for fit to flare because we do her two different ways. So we can do her as a fit to flare in this crepe, really clean lines, neoprene lining again, so it kind of slims out the whole body, and just really a lot of movement. And she's in a Georgette. And then the other way we can do her for the exact same price is with the overskirt. So we can do a Georgette overskirt attached to the gown instead of the fit to flare, so she can become a Georgette A-line. Or you can do the fit to flare gown and then have the skirt separate. So again, you can have two separate looks. And then that Georgette A-line overskirt can also pair with a lot of our other gowns that have that natural seam waist. So you could really elevate your look with pretty much any of the gowns that have a Kelly waistline.
I love it. So many options. It's so great. There's so much to choose from, which I feel like in the past that, you know, it wasn't like that. It was like, this is the dress and that's what you get. So I love how versatile it can be.
Well, yeah, and thank you. So, I mean, again, this whole collection, we had our brides in mind, that knowing that things have changed and you might really need to have this gown for more than one look, or you might want to have, you know, some versatility and how you play with it in the future. So we're really designing for today's modern bride and trying to have a little fun with it on the way.
Yes. And I love the square neckline. I have not seen it with an A-line before. I feel like it takes the A-line to a whole new level of modern design. Yes, love it. And we thought the overskirt will also look great with either Aya or Evelyn. Sorry.
That's fine.
Evelyn. And just again, make that fit and flare into a nice flowy A-line for your second.
And that Georgette is so lightweight and airy. It doesn't feel like a whole lot on.
Love that.
And that is it. We got them all for you guys. Amazing. So Marcel, tell us more about if bride loves these dresses, which I'm pretty sure they are.
I hope you love them.
Where can they get them?
So
where can we get them? I'm gonna get one too.
So these gowns are starting to be delivered to stores all over the globe. So because of COVID, market was a little weird this year because we really didn't have an April market for the whole fashion industry. So these gowns are now starting to arrive in stores. So what there is if you go to our website, there is a landing page where you can actually register for information and you put in your zip code. And when we know a stockist in your area is getting the gowns in store, we can alert you and let you know that, hey, you know, we've got some gowns in the area. We also will have our trunk show calendar up probably by the end of the week. So we can start to see where the gowns will be traveling around the country now that Bridal Fashion Week is behind us. So they're going to actually be on tour. So you'll be able to kind of make an appointment with a local salon. And then you can always put in a request. You know, we are always on social media. So you can always DM us with any interest in any one specific gown. You can always fill out a form on our website if you'd like some more information. So again, you know, these gowns are fresh off the runway. So it's pretty exciting that if, you know, you do want to see them, you know, you're very likely to be one of the first brides in your area to either try one on or wear one, which is pretty exciting.
Yes, for sure.
And then of course we have all the other Kelly Faetanini gowns too. So if you're liking a style, even if it's, you know, you're loving a look of one, but you're not sure if that's your gown, but you want to try on other Kellys, you can always go to our website. We have a store locator on there, and or you could just honestly just message us and I will personally help you find a salon in your area and make an introduction for you.
Love that. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So we have now a few questions that we want to go over.
Sure.
So I'm going to stop sharing our screen so I can see the questions real quick. So we have comments first. So wonderful. Yolanda said. And then Sarah said, love the capes. This season, when people are calling them, that she loves the fact that we're calling them capes, even though they're kind of like trains, but not capes. So that's amazing. And then we have a question. What sizes do you carry?
We can do size 0 to 24 as standard sizes, and then we can always do custom, and we can do split sizes as well. So what we will do is, if you're interested in a Kelly gown, or when you go to your Kelly Faetanini retailer, they'll measure you against our size chart, and they'll tell you if you're a standard size or a split size. When we talk about split sizes, let's say your bust is a little bit bigger or smaller than your hips or your waist, we can tailor that gown to make it exactly the right size for you based on our size chart. So we're very, very flexible with that.
That's amazing. So plus size girls are included.
Of course included. Yeah.
Awesome.
And smaller than 0. I mean, we do get sometimes 00 requests. You know, we haven't forgotten you guys either. You know, it's about, that's when we can just do a custom measurement. You know, all of our gowns are scaled and graded differently, and we can certainly make recommendations too for which gowns scale better than others, either up or down. So that you're going to get the perfect fit and the perfect, you know, style representation from the collection.
That is amazing, because I was a 00 back in the day when I got married. So it was really
it's very hard
to find a dress.
A lot of people think about plus size, but you don't actually think about the super petite too.
Yes. So I'm so glad you guys are doing that. And I mean, Kelly, like you said, she designs for her brides. So it doesn't surprise me that she's included everybody.
And we run street size too. So that's another thing too, is when you're looking at our gowns, you know, if you're a street size, let's say 12, I mean, you're probably going to be a Kelly 12 or 14. Or maybe a 10 depending on the gown.
Christina knows a lot about sizing and all that.
I've seen a lot of like fitting room like freakouts, because if you guys don't know bridal, a lot of times the sizing is like super weird. So sometimes the number is a lot bigger than what you actually are. Not that there's a problem with that, but brides do get, you know, it's a vulnerable time in your life. So brides get very like freaked out by that. And then we have to explain like, no, that's not actually how it is. So the street sizing is great. Yeah.
And then people want to know if they can buy the accessories separately.
Absolutely.
So
yep, you absolutely can. So you can go to any Kelly Faetanini retailer and they can order, even if they don't even have the piece in stock. There's a couple things we can do. So if you know, not every retailer carries every Kelly gown, or that would be all Kelly, right? If there's a thing that you want, they can either, sorry, my earphone just fell out. They can either ask to borrow a sample from us, and then they can arrange to have that sample loaned to the salon so that you can actually try it on. And then also, if you just fall in love with something, you know that that's your piece, you can always order it separately without a question whatsoever. You just go right to your retailer.
Awesome. And then what are the prices? This question is always asked.
No, it's fine. And we're proud of our pricing. It's never something that we want to hide. This collection ranges from $2,200 at the starting, it's like it's $2,195. And it goes up to about $4,700 in this collection. The majority of this collection is right in the $2,800 range. So that when you're kind of budgeting, we would typically recommend budget for about that price, and then about 10% to 15% for alterations or any customizations that you want.
That's a really good pricing.
Yeah,
really good pricing, very affordable. And for those of you who are watching, I know sometimes brides get a little freaked out on me about the prices of wedding dresses, but guys, this one is a good pricing. Like, you're gonna go visit your bridal salon and you're gonna discover that a $2,800 wedding dress is actually very affordable. Yeah, for sure.
And the quality is there too. I mean, it's not just a price tag. I mean, when you put the gown on, you'll feel the difference. That's the one thing I can tell you, is that if you go there, and even if you're not in love with any of the Kelly styles you see today, but you have a retailer that carries Kelly, try one on. Because I know you're going to feel it, and you're going to be like, oh, okay, I see it now. I get it.
And again, I mean, you're paying for something like we said, completely different because these designs are just so out of the box, but it's still so elegant and so in the now for what brides are needing at this moment. But also the fitting is amazing. And then Kelly specifically said yesterday in our Instagram live that she's designing for comfort. So trust me, as a bride that got married in an A-line super heavy wedding dress, I can tell you that comfort is something you're really gonna look for in your wedding day for sure.
And all of our gowns are made to order too, which is something that maybe not everybody knows. You know, so there are salons in our similar price point that, you know, mass manufacture, then you buy a size 12 and that's, you know, that's what you get. Every one of our gowns is not cut until you order it. So that gown is made genuinely with love, with you in mind, and it's your gown, and it's not just being pulled off a rack in your size. So, you know, I love that our brides get to know that piece of our business. You know, it goes through a 2-hour quality control in New York. We look at every button, every seam, every piece by hand in New York, so that we know that that gown is being delivered flawless to you. So it's, you know, that all that love goes into that gown as well, which just even makes the fit and the comfort and all the other pieces that much better when you know you get it. And so many people put their heart into that gown.
Yeah. Peace of mind is priceless, especially when you're a bride.
It is, you know, and if something's wrong, like we do everything in our power to make it right, you know, and that's another part of just knowing that, you know, we're 100% accessible. And that we're going to make it right until, you know, you're walking down the aisle and feeling incredible.
Yeah, I for sure can attest to the fact that you guys are super accessible for your brides and your bridal salons, and always trying to help your clients for sure.
Yeah.
And then the last question we have is, when do brides should start shopping for their 2021 wedding?
Ooh, 2021, start shopping now. So, you know, we always recommend start shopping as soon as you've kind of have some kind of grasp on your budget, right? So the most important thing is, first of all, for us, is that no wedding dress should break your bank, right? So put your budget together, really get an idea of the aesthetic of what you're looking for, because your shopping experience is going to be more fun, right? If you know your boundaries that you're going in and you know the aesthetic that you're going for your wedding, you're going to go in a little bit more focused, and you're going to be able to make a decision faster, which will be a more enjoyable experience for you and your entire family for shopping with you. So with that, I would definitely say shop early, you know, shop around if you need to, but, you know, we actually hear a lot of times that our brides fall in love with one of the first 2 or 3 gowns that they put on, and Christina working in the salon can tell you that. So you might try on 100, but you're statistically likely to go back to one of the first 5 gowns that you tried on. So, you know, don't overthink it, but put enough thought into it. And then when you fall in love, order it. You know, most of the salons that we see, you know, our shipping time, our lead time is 14 weeks. Some of them are a little bit longer, but the world is a really weird place. So a lot of our brides are finding comfort knowing that they've placed their order, their gown is in production, and then they're going to have it in their hands if something goes off the rails in 2021 again. So I certainly don't want to say that for fear. It's just that's kind of the trend that we're hearing. So if you guys are feeling that, you're not alone. You know, but it's not a time to be panicked. It's a time to have fun and love everything you're doing. Just go into it with, you know, eyes wide open that, you know, timing does matter.
Yes, for sure. And it's better, like you said, to have your dress already, be ready, prepare for the wedding that you're going to have. And if anything is going to happen in 2021, you have a peace of mind that at least the wedding dress is not going to get delayed. You already have it with you. One less thing to worry about.
Well, plus it also sets the tone for your whole wedding, really. I mean, once you choose your gown, it feels like the rest of it goes downhill from there. The rest of it feels so much easier because you have a vision of what your gown looks like. So I feel like a lot of our brides find peace of mind when they make their decision, because everything else trickles down after that.
It's true. A lot of things hinge on the gown, like you were saying, like the bridesmaids dresses and how are you going to wear your hair and things like that. So it is really, it gets things moving.
And we just had a bride that chose one of our ombre gowns, our Uma gown, which is our cotton candy gown, even though she got it in the ivory and blush. And that was such a huge factor for her because it changes the whole color palette of her wedding.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So if you're considering an ombre or something that's a little bit different or has color to it, that also might change the approach that you have to your whole, theme for your wedding.
So true.
Well, that's all we got, guys.
Thank you
so much. Before we say goodbye, Marcel, anything you want to add? Christina, anything you want to add?
I mean, all these gowns are so gorgeous. I hope you guys wrote down some style info for sure, because I mean, how could you not love at least one of them? You know what I mean? And I hope that all brides who are watching this just took away that you can really make your dress your own and don't be afraid to mix and match and incorporate your personal style into your wedding day.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, mine's maybe more of a personal message, but stay sane. This has been a tough year, and I feel like there's so much, as much as this is the most joyous time, it's also been a super stressful time for brides, right? So if there's, just mental health is really important, staying calm, staying relaxed, and remembering why you're doing this, and then just keeping it simple, so if that comes from the style of gown that you choose to the type of event that you're going to have, take a deep breath and enjoy the journey. And no matter what, you're going to have a good time. And, that's the most important thing. Above and beyond fashion is just, you being happy.
Yes, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Above all, to be happy and to have the wedding that you want to have, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to have the big wedding and you want to wait, that's okay. Yeah. And if you want to have the small wedding right now and get married right now, that's okay. And you can wear whatever dress you want.
There are no rules.
There are no rules, especially right now.
There are no rules. If you want to get married in your backyard in the biggest ball gown we have, knock yourself out. You know what? This is your day. Feel like the most amazing that you want to feel.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But you want to wear a cape on the backyard, on the park, please do it.
And if you do, please send us pictures.
Yeah, send photos.
For sure, send photos. We want to see them all.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. Again, I'm Alejandra Baca. You can call me Alex. I'm the editor of Bridal Magazine, and with us was Marcel Turner from the Kelly Faetanini team, the Chief Marketing Officer, and Christina. I can never say your last name.
Oh, it's okay. No one can. It's fine. It's totally fine. You could just skip it.
From LuxeBrideGuide. Our Instagram handles are right there. Please follow us. Send us any questions that you have, but especially if you have questions regarding sizing, regarding price on these dresses, make sure you follow Kelly Faetanini and DM them with any of your questions, or go to their website. They have a contact form right there for you where you can contact them and ask them any questions you want. Also, they have their authorized retailers there. Make sure when you're buying a dress that is an authorized retailer and you're really getting a Kelly Faetanini dress for sure. And if you're watching the replay, please also make sure you send us your questions that we didn't get to answer right now. We'll be happy to answer them for you. If you're watching the live, you're going to get the replay on your email very soon. So don't worry about it. And make sure that you write down those styles that you want to try on in your local bridal salon or you have questions for.
And if there's anything that you missed, if you go to our website and go to the blog, the very first, the most recent article is actually all the fronts of the gowns as a preview. So that's a little good cheat sheet for you.
Yes. And you're going to have more for them on the Instagram account.
Yes, we will.
A lot more videos and bags.
We have behind the scenes. We have all the fun stuff.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Well, thank you so much, you guys. It has been amazing and a lot of fun. I really appreciate you and have a great day.
Thank you so much,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thanks for
Bye
coming.
bye.
Bye, guys.